This hearing is called to order. Today is Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. And the time is 1:01 p.m. This is the time and place set for the public hearing on the proposed new Rule 1 and the repeal of ARM 38222401, 38222403, 38222404, 38222405, and 38222406 regarding formal intervention in commission contested cases. I am Commissioner Randy Pinocci, and I have been delegated the responsibility to preside over this hearing by the Montana Public Service Commission. Montana law requires the presiding officer at the rulemaking hearing to read all the following notice. Notice of functions of Administrative Rule Review Committee. Administrative Rule Review is a function of the interim committees and the Environmental Quality Council, EQC. The interim committees and the EQC have administrative rule review, program evaluation, and the monitoring functions of the following executive branch agencies and the entities attached to agencies for administrative purposes. Economic Affairs Interim Committee, Department of Agriculture, Department of Commerce, Department of Labor Industry, Department of Livestock, the Office of State Auditor and Insurance Commissioner, and the Office of Economic Development. Education and Local Government Interim Committee, State Board of Education, Board of Public Education, Board of Regents of Higher Education, and Office of Public Instruction. Children, Family, Health, and Human Services Interim Committee, Department of Public Health and Human Services, Law and Justice Interim Committee, Department of Corrections, and Department of Justice. Energy and Telecommunications Interim Committee, Department of Public Service Regulation, Revenue and Transportation Interim Committee, Department of Revenue, and Department of Transportation. State Administration and Veterans Affairs Interim Committee, Department of Administration, Department of Military Affairs, and Office of the Secretary of State. Environmental Quality Council, Department of Environmental Quality, Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, Department of Natural Resources and Conservation. Water Policy Interim Committee, where the primary concern is quality or quantity of water. Department of Environmental Quality, Department of Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, and Department of Natural Resources and Conservation. These interim committees and the EQC have the authority to make recommendations to an agency regarding the adoption, amendment, or repeal of the rule, or to request that the agency prepare a statement of the estimated economic impact of a proposal. They also may poll the members of the legislature to determine if the purpose of the rule is consistent with the intent of the legislature, or during a legislative session, introduce a bill repealing a rule or directing an agency to adopt or amend a rule, or a joint resolution recommending that the agency adopt, amend, or repeal a rule. The interim committees and the EQC welcome comments and invite members of the public to appear before them or send written statements in order to bring their attention to any difficulties with the existing or proposed rules. The mailing address is P.O. Box 201706, Helena, Montana, 59620-1706. We are now going to move to the proceeding. The notice of the public hearing on the proposed rule change was published on December 9th, 2022 in the Montana Administrative Register as MAR notice number 38-2-258. A copy of the notice can be found on the Secretary of State's website at http://sosmt.gov/ARM/register. In the notice, the commission proposes to modernize and simplify its rules concerning formal intervention in the commission's contested cases. Montana law requires the commission to periodically review the administrative rules. The commission's intervention rules have not been updated since the 1970s. The commission's proposed new intervention rule, which can be found in paragraph 3 of the notice, simplifies the intervention process by allowing uncontested interventions to be deemed approved without further commission action. The new rule also recognizes the special status of the Montana Consumer Council and streamlines MCC's intervention. Finally, the rule recognizes the commission's authority to impose appropriate conditions upon the intervener's participation when necessary to avoid delays, repetition of the issues, or prejudice to other parties, or upon finding of good cause. Montana law sets short deadlines for commission proceedings, and our ability to satisfy those deadlines may be jeopardized by unnecessary delay or unreasonable duplication of the issues. As indicated in the proposed new rule, the imposition of any conditions will only be done after the notice and a reasonable opportunity to be heard. Paragraph 4 of the notice identifies each commission's existing rules that would be replaced by the new rule. Paragraph 5 indicates that interested persons may present their data, views, or arguments either orally or in writing at this hearing or after this hearing to the commission. This paragraph also includes deadline for comments, which I will discuss later. Paragraph 6 notes that the Montana Consumer Council is available to represent the interest of the consuming public. Paragraph 7 describes the process for joining the commission's interested persons list for administrative rulemaking. Paragraph 8 states that the department has determined the proposed rulemaking will not significantly or directly impact small businesses. Paragraph 9 directs the reader to the Secretary of State's website to view its proposed notice. Paragraph 10 concludes that the bill sponsor contact requirements of the state law do not apply to this rulemaking. Paragraph 11 notes that the commissioner or a duly appointed presiding officer will preside over the hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to review public comment regarding the proposed rule changes. In addition to this hearing, written comments regarding the proposed rule changes may be submitted to the commission. All written comments must be submitted to the commission no later than 5 p.m. on January 13th, 2023, following the close of this public comment period. The commission will summarize and respond to any comments received. The summarized comments and the commission's responses will be published in the Montana Administrative Register as part of the rulemaking process. Are there any proponents to the proposed rule? Are there any opponents to the proposed rule? Any online? Is there anyone else that would like to comment on the proposed rule? Seeing none, the commission maintains a list of interested persons and the subjects in which each person on the list is interested. Within 3 days of any rulemaking notice being published, all interested persons are notified about the rulemaking activity. If anyone here would like to be placed on the interested persons list, please use the meeting sign-in sheet in the reception area to indicate your wish to be included as an interested person. I will now close this rulemaking public hearing. Pursuant to Montana Code Annotated 2-3-103, every commissioner meeting must include an opportunity for the public comment on any public matter that is not on the agenda, but is within the commission's jurisdiction. Is there any public comment on matters not on today's agenda, but within the commission's jurisdiction? Any online? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. I practiced.